I know why you're here. Even for those of you that just clicked on the wrong session link, I know why you're here as well. You're here because the animal that we refer to as percussion needs taming. My name is Brett Benson. I'm one of the band directors at Eagan High School, Go Wildcats, and I am here today to lead a session called Follow the Percussion Code. The percussion code is a set of principles to live by, and this can be applied to any age group, any ability level, any school size. It is a universal set of principles that can make the lives of percussionists and their instructors a lot better. I have formalized this percussion code on Eagan letterhead and made it specific to our students here at Eagan. If you would like to follow along, take notes, or make edits within this code to help make it apply more directly to your program, use this QR code to access a Google folder where a Google Doc that has just the text for you to use or manipulate can be found, along with the PDF of the Eagan version. This QR code will remain up on the next screen for several seconds, so if you haven't had the opportunity to use it yet, you will still have that chance. I am a percussionist by trade, and based on my experience and the experiences of those that I'm close to in this profession, starting as a percussionist band director and then learning the wind instrument families comes with quite a bit more sanity than starting as a wind playing band director and trying to learn the percussion family. At times, a wind or string playing ensemble instructor speaking to the percussion section can equate to my ability to speak French. Vengez tout l'enfoncé. We're not going to broach the topic of choral instructors. I would never expose a choir director like Jim Cox as being someone who asks for a percussion student who's willing to play the clangy thing at their next concert. There are some universal truths that come along with percussion playing, but there are far more uniquely different things about each percussion instrument that make them disparate enough to be frustrating, right? This one I play with sticks, this one I play with my hands, this one I bang off my knee, and this other one I'm just supposed to drop on the ground. There is chaos there. And as instructors of young percussionists, you are very familiar with chaos. It looks like this. Of course, life is better if you know how to navigate all that percussion chaos, but you don't need to bear the weight of that all on you. Empowering your students to take ownership and to help navigate some of their own journey through the percussion world is okay. There is power in that in a learning experience that many students benefit greatly from. So let's dig in. What is this percussion code that's going to help me solve some of this riddle? I've got this group of misfits here ready to help today as we navigate through this 10-point code one by one. What follows is actual footage from faked scenarios that simulate the lives of percussionists. The first 6 items on this percussion code are grouped into a category called Make Sounds You Love. Number 1, accept that every sound you make is important. All right, everyone, Cielo de Oro. What woodblock are you using?
This large one?
I know we're just in rehearsal right now, but there are a couple other good options for woodblocks. Will you go grab one of the smallest ones for me? Yeah. Okay, so we got the right woodblock. Now, what are you playing it with back there?
This gong mallet?
Gong mallet. Hold scene. Every sound you make is important. Don't settle for the wrong gear. Don't devalue your contributions in a rehearsal. And don't minimize your experience on certain instruments. If your part wasn't important, the composer never would have included it to begin with. And if you'd like to share those last 10 seconds with your third clarinet players, be my guest. Number 2, challenge your first choice of instrument, mallets, beater, whatever tool you are using. O Manu Mysterium is next. Let's get ready.
Oh yeah, this one. I'll grab some mallets from the mallet bag. Hey, there are already some mallets here. Great, I'll just use those.
Rachel's delightful discovery that there were already mallets waiting for her at the xylophone has led to this reaction. This is not desirable. Challenge your instrument and the tools you are using to play it with until you are confident that you are making a great sound. Number 3, communicate until you have access to proper functioning equipment. Spencer, you're playing that China cymbal part, right?
Yeah, I am.
Boy, it just doesn't sound totally right today. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I think everything's going okay.
I mean, is it screwed on too tight, or is there anything wrong with it?
Well, there's a big piece in the back here missing. There's just a big chunk of the cymbal gone.
You know, we have other China cymbals that we can replace that one with. If the drum head is broken, if the pedal won't engage, if there's a chunk missing from the cymbal, you need to tell someone. And then you need to keep telling them until it gets fixed. You deserve to play on quality gear. Number 4, be particular about your setup. Dan, great job on that opening roll, but I see some chime notes here in bar 3 on the timpani part as well. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't play them, correct? I didn't hear any chimes there, is that right?
No, I did not.
How come?
Because the chimes are all the way over there.
So I mean, it's okay for you to move those, like timpani on this side of the room, chimes on that side of the room. Why don't you go grab those and roll them over, and then you'll have them right next to you.
Okay, sure.
Things move. Use a trap stand, mallet bags, instruments on wheels. Anything you can do to improve your access to the gear you need, do it. Number 5, take advantage of your opportunities on the less common instruments. So yeah, on that the brake drum part there, Anna, it's a little heavy, a little thuddy. You know, depending on where you play on the brake drum, did you know you can get different pitches actually out of there?
Oh, you can?
Yeah, we can get something kind of higher. We're looking for something a little more pingy, right? A little higher pitch. Can you just explore around there for a few seconds? See if you can get a higher pitch ring. Yeah, even maybe take a shot at the side of it. What kind of sound we get out of there? That's not bad. Let's give that one a try. Love it. That's great. Explore, discover, test, fail, create. Weird instruments become awesome instruments as you learn more about their capabilities. Don't settle. Number 6, enjoy the experience of playing and practicing to improve. All right, everyone, if you pull out your music for Overture to Candide, we're going to take a quick listen to the section at 231 so we get a sense of what we're going for. All right, everyone, before we rehearse this, take a few seconds on your own, noodle through what you need in order to improve something in this section?
Hey, maybe do you want to play this part and I'll play the triangle part instead? There's some tricky parts, but I just gotta get to work and figure this out, I guess.
Learning music is a mental game. Like most things that are a part of the human experience, the better you get at something, the more you are going to enjoy it. As you continue to learn more and more about music, the understanding that the fulfillment yet to come gets even better is an important one to accept. The next 2 points on the code are under the category rehearsal etiquette. Number 7, and this is usually a student favorite. Push your volume on everything until instructed to play it quieter. Yep, thank you. Will, you're on that castanet part, right?
Yeah.
Were you playing that time? Did you miss the entrance?
No, I was playing.
Oh, you were. Can you maybe play a little bit louder, be a little more present, so I can help you out if there's anything wrong? I can't tell that you're playing right now. Okay. Now that I can hear you, I can tell that you're playing the right rhythm, but half as fast as it needs to go. Instead of 1 triple at 3, it's 1 triple to 2. If we can't hear you, we can't help you. Don't take this point as a license just to play everything as loudly as possible. You're still trying to be musical. But you can continually edge towards that line of too loud until your instructor is forced to address your work and give you guidance on how it should be played and how it should be balanced. Number 8, cover parts if someone is absent from a rehearsal. Percussion, I'm not hearing tambourine. Who's playing tambourine? Percussion? Who's it?
I think Jeff has the tambourine, but he's gone today.
Okay, Jeff's gone today. Great. Can you cover the tambourine part?
I'm only assigned to suspended cymbal.
I understand. Yep, Jeff was supposed to play the tambourine part, but I don't see any suspended cymbal material here. Could you just cover the tambourine for today?
I don't know. I was only assigned to the suspended cymbal.
I know that's what the percussion assignments say, but just for today, could you just, it doesn't even have to be perfect, but it's right next to you. Could you just grab the tambourine and play it just for context for the rest of us, just for today?
Okay, sure.
We would all have the last 60 seconds of our lives back if that conversation had never happened. Take charge. Step in when you can. These last 2 points are under the category of part assignments. Whether or not instructors should be assigning percussion parts can be a little bit controversial, but we are not going to run from that controversy here. I am a strong believer that instructors should be assigning all the percussion parts, and the last 2 points of this code are based on that approach. If you hang around to the very end of this video, I offer a few minutes on the argument of why I think you should do so, but we are not going to get into that right now. Let's take a look at number 9. Understand that part assignments are done with conscientious detail. Meet Connolly. Connolly is a fabulous snare drum player. Connolly is also a tremendous mallet player, and when you give her a part that is too easy, she is going to be able to figure that thing out right away. If a student can sight read a piece right off the bat and play it nearly perfectly on day 1, you're going to have a demotivated student going forward. Instead, if you play to Connolly's strengths and give her a tough snare part like the one that is hugely relied upon in The Great Locomotive Chase, It's going to push her appropriately, while that mallet part that she was just sight reading is going to be better off for someone who maybe is not as proficient, and that will be the appropriate challenge for them. There will be other mallet parts that challenge her for what she needs there as well, and other snare parts that will challenge a less capable snare player appropriately as well.
Number 10. Feel empowered to make great decisions if something has been overlooked.
All right, everyone, time to play Spontaneous Combustion.
Let's take a look at the percussion assignments. I play tambourine and woodblock.
Oh no, we're missing that gong hit right at the end there. Percussion, who's got that gong part? Percussion, where's that gong part assigned?
It's on percussion too.
Oh, and you're on percussion too, great. I don't know if you just miss it, but are you gonna play that next time?
Well, I wasn't really assigned to it.
Well, what are you assigned to?
Tambourine and woodblock.
But not the gong and the percussion 2 part. Okay, so who is anyone else assigned to the gong part?
I don't think so.
Oh, but it's on the and you're on percussion too. So great. So can you play the gong part next time?
Sure.
All right. I might have just overlooked it in the assigning. You can cover that part though.
Yeah.
I highly encourage you to use these principles to make the experience better. Better for you, better for your students, and better for your program. It might even be something that you want to formally agree upon. Some people have taken this idea and created an actual agreement that they sign with the understanding that they have gone through these things and agree to follow them. You might be able to have some fun with it and make them pledge an oath to the percussion experience. You might make a poster out of it and put it in your percussion section somewhere where they can see it regularly. Regardless, think about the principles in here, and even if you need to change some of the wording or readjust some of the application to your particular program, I hope that this at least get the wheels spinning for the things that you can do and be conscious of to make sure that that percussion experience is being maximized wherever possible. At the very least, it's something that your students should see and you should go through with them point by point to know that you are on the same page, quite literally. Remember to stay tuned in for a few minutes at the end if you want to hear my take on percussion part assignments. Thanks for your time today. I hope you enjoy the rest of the midwinter clinic, the rest of the school year. If you want to get in touch with me or connect with me about the percussion code or percussion in general, my email is up on the screen. Feel free to shoot me a message at any time. Take care of yourselves. Let me make my case for why you should be assigning percussion parts to all of your percussion students. You, as the ensemble instructor, know, or hopefully know, a number of things that impact a good percussion assignment versus a bad percussion assignment. Those things are primarily the following: the difficulty level of the piece overall. Right? We can look at the entire ensemble to say this is going to be very complex, not as complex, somewhere in between, and you will be able to do a little bit of judging of how all the parts will lay within that larger picture. Second thing, how long does your ensemble have to prepare for it? You might have some students who could eventually figure out this part or eventually figure out that part. But what if this concert cycle is really short? You know that you're going to have to maximize talent and the capacity to learn things quite quickly based on those windows. That should always be a consideration. And number 3, and this is the most important of all of them,
is that you know the strengths and weaknesses of your players. You know whether you have a student who really excels in mallet playing, really excels at snare drum, timpani, drum set, whatever it might be. Your job as an educator is to push all of your students and challenge them, but not so much that they are totally underwater. Think about what we do with the trumpet section. First parts, second parts, third parts. There's a reason why you are putting some people on those parts in particular, isn't there? Generally, it's to allow those people to grow at their proper speed. The challenges that would be for typically a third part player being put on the first part, that's going to overwhelm them and perhaps demotivate them from gaining speed and traction and learning music and experiencing the musical world. For percussionists, you want balance, and you always want to make sure that there is a good rotation of instruments being played. I strongly encourage you not to allow students at the high school, middle school, or elementary level to become one-track percussionists. Don't have the snare drum player, the mallet player, the timpani player. Get a well-rounded percussion experience. But what that requires from you is a thought process that allows you to challenge each student appropriately. You don't just say, oh, well, this piece, it's your turn to play the mallet line. If that mallet part is far too complex for the player, you are doing them a disservice. You need to find a piece where the mallet part given to that student is the right amount of challenge beyond their current capabilities to allow them to grow. You don't want to overwhelm. You also don't want to underwhelm, right? You don't want to say, well, this is your turn to play timpani, and it's the easiest timpani part in the world. Well, maybe for another student, that's a really nice introduction to timpani. But for a student who just got accepted into All-State, there might be a different application in that particular setting to really capitalize on their skills. You are always trying to do service to two groups. One is the players as individuals, the other is the ensemble. Putting a student on a part that is way above their head and might actually detract from the final product is doing a disservice to the rest of the ensemble as well. I don't think you would do that in your clarinet section, so I don't think you should do that in your percussion section. For some of you, you may be using section leaders or just the percussion section in general to assign percussion parts. It can work. I've seen it work in some specific scenarios. But in order for that really to be the best percussion education possible, you are assuming that that student knows the overall difficulty level of the piece, knows how long the concert cycle is and how much time that you intend to prepare that piece with the ensemble, and the strengths and weaknesses of all of those percussionists in the section. Can you really say that that section leader or the section in general can do all that fairly? It might work in some years, it might not work in other years. For me, consistency is the thing that brings us the most success. That's the policy I follow.